The queen examined the human's armor. "This armor belongs to a legend," she said. Commander Luke Hayes walked through the corridors, his boots clicking softly on the metal floor. He had always been proud of his ship and crew, but this mission felt different. The human race had never been invited to meet the rulers of the Virelian Empire, the most advanced alien civilization in known space. Now, that moment had finally come. Luke paused at the observation deck and looked out at the endless stars. Beside him stood Lieutenant Clara Miles, a young officer with bright brown eyes and steady hands. "Do you ever think they will even understand us?" she asked quietly. Luke turned to her with a calm smile. "They have to," he said. "We have something they have never seen. Something no one has ever seen." He tapped the chest of his armor, the specially designed human combat suit he had worn on every mission. It was made of reinforced alloys and energy-absorbing materials, a combination of human ingenuity and clever engineering. To others, it was just armor, but to him, it was proof that humans could survive in any condition, even against enemies far stronger than themselves. The ship entered Virelian space, and sensors immediately lit up with warnings. Ships with strange shapes and shimmering surfaces surrounded them. The humans had expected a welcoming ceremony, but what they found was a blockade. From the bridge, Luke watched as a massive vessel detached from the fleet and moved toward them. Its surface reflected light like liquid metal, constantly shifting in strange patterns. A voice came over the comm in a melodic, almost musical tone. "Humans, you approach without permission. State your intentions." Luke recognized it as the voice of Queen Viola herself. She was the ruler of the Virelians, and stories about her had circulated in the galaxy for decades. It was said she was wise, but merciless to those who disrespected her. Luke took a deep breath and spoke into the microphone. "We come in peace. I am Commander Luke Hayes of the United Earth Fleet. We request an audience with Queen Viola to establish relations between our worlds." There was a pause, long enough for everyone on the bridge to feel tension in the air. Finally, the Queen's voice returned. "Very well. You will be escorted to the Imperial Station. Any attempt at deception will be met with force." The humans obeyed without hesitation. The escort was strange to them, ships moving silently as if they were alive, guiding them toward a massive station that glowed faintly like a crystal in the darkness. The closer they came, the more details appeared. The station was enormous, easily larger than any human city. Towers spiraled upward, and surfaces shimmered with an unknown energy. Luke could not help but feel small in comparison. Even the stars around them seemed dim beside its glow. Inside the station, the humans were guided to a large chamber. The walls were made of translucent panels that changed colors slowly, reflecting light like flowing water. Standing at the center was Queen Viola herself, tall and elegant, her form surrounded by a faint aura that seemed to hum with energy. Her skin was pale and smooth, almost glowing, and her eyes were large and golden. She observed the humans with a mixture of curiosity and caution. Luke stepped forward, keeping his voice steady. "Your Majesty, we come to seek understanding and friendship. We hope our armor and technology will show that humans are not a threat, but partners in exploration and knowledge." The Queen's gaze fell on his armor. She leaned forward slightly, her golden eyes narrowing. "That armor," she said in a voice that echoed softly in the chamber, "is unlike any I have seen before. Its design is simple yet effective. The markings, they are not of your world." She turned her attention to Clara. "Who forged this?" Luke nodded respectfully. "It was created by human engineers, ma'am. Every piece tested in the harshest conditions. I wear it not just for protection, but to show what humans can do when we face impossible challenges." Viola studied him for a long moment. Then she stepped closer and her aura seemed to expand. "A human wearing this suit and coming to my station alone, unarmed except for this armor, it is a bold act. You show courage and confidence." Very few beings in the galaxy could walk into the center of the Virelian Empire and survive, yet you do so without fear. Luke felt a shiver run down his spine. This was not just curiosity in her voice, it was recognition. Recognition of a strength they had never truly understood. "We believe that survival and intelligence go hand in hand," he said. "Humans have always faced impossible odds and found ways to thrive." The Queen's golden eyes glimmered. "Then perhaps you are a legend in the making." Few humans would survive the dangers that face those who seek to approach the Empire, and yet here you are. She paused and turned, signaling to the others in the room. Several Virelian aides brought forward a holographic display showing battles, conflicts, and technologies from across the galaxy. One image stopped Luke cold: a human colony under attack by a massive alien force, completely outnumbered. And yet in the images, humans fought back with clever tactics, improvisation, and a ferocity that surprised even the Virelians. Clara leaned close to Luke and whispered, "They've been watching us for a long time." Luke nodded, eyes still on the display. "It seems so." But this recognition, it could change everything. Queen Viola turned back to him. "I have seen many civilizations, Luke Hayes. Many have tried to impress me, many have failed. But there is something in humans that others do not possess. You adapt, you survive, and you never surrender. Tell me, why should I allow humans a place among the great powers of the galaxy?" Luke squared his shoulders. "Because humans are more than strength and numbers. We have ingenuity, courage, and the will to fight for what is right. We do not seek to conquer, only to prove that we belong." The Queen stepped even closer. Luke could feel the energy radiating from her, but he did not flinch. His armor, worn and scratched from past missions, glimmered faintly. The Queen raised a hand and lightly touched the surface of his chest plate. Her eyes widened slightly, and she took a step back. "This armor belongs to a legend," she said, her voice softer now. "Not just a warrior, but a being who could change the course of history." "Where did you acquire this?" Luke looked at her calmly. "We built it ourselves. Humans build their legends through action, not words. This armor is a symbol of our efforts and our potential." The Queen studied him for a long moment, her golden gaze piercing, as if trying to see into his very soul. Around them the chamber was silent, the aides and attendants frozen in anticipation. Finally, Viola spoke again. "Perhaps humans are not to be feared as others believe. Perhaps you are different." She gestured toward the doors. "Come, you will walk with me through the halls of the Empire. I wish to see your world, even if only through the eyes of its people." Luke and Clara exchanged a brief, stunned glance. This was more than they had hoped for. To be allowed to move freely in the heart of the Virelian Empire was a rare honor, and an even rarer opportunity to prove themselves. As they followed the Queen through the twisting corridors, Luke could not shake the feeling that everything was changing. The humans had stepped into a new chapter, one where courage and ingenuity could truly make them legends. And somewhere deep inside, he knew that this was only the beginning. The corridors led to a vast chamber filled with strange machines and glowing artifacts. The air shimmered with energy, and the humans could sense a presence that was both overwhelming and awe-inspiring. Viola paused in front of a massive console and turned to them. "Tell me," she said, "what drives humans to fight when hope seems lost? What is it that makes you so remarkable?" Luke thought for a moment. "We fight because giving up is not an option. Survival is not enough. We strive to build, to protect, and to prove that we can stand against anything. It is in our nature to endure and to rise, no matter the odds." The Queen studied him carefully, and then, slowly, a faint smile appeared on her lips. "Perhaps you are more than what I imagined. Perhaps your armor does not merely protect the body but reveals the spirit within. Very well, Luke Hayes. You have my attention. Show me what humans can do." Luke felt a surge of determination. This was his chance to prove humanity's worth, to show the galaxy that humans were not just another species to be studied or ignored. They were a force to be reckoned with, a civilization that could endure, adapt, and rise above any challenge. As they moved deeper into the heart of the Empire, Luke and Clara realized that the true test was only beginning. But for the first time, the humans were not just visitors, they were contenders. And the legend of the armor and the human who wore it was about to begin. The corridors of the Viorlian Imperial Station seemed endless. Every step Luke and Clara took echoed softly, yet the walls themselves seemed alive, shifting and glowing with colors that humans had never seen before. Strange symbols floated in the air, and soft currents of energy brushed against their skin. They followed Queen Viola closely, but it felt less like a walk through a palace and more like a journey into the unknown. "This place is incredible," Clara whispered. Her eyes followed the movement of the walls, and she tried to take in every detail. "I've never seen anything like this. It's alive almost," Luke nodded. "It's more than alive. It's a reflection of their intelligence. Humans can create, but the Viorlians, they seem to merge thought and matter. Everything here is connected, as if the station itself thinks." Viola glanced back at them. Her expression was calm but serious. "You are correct. Every part of this station is conscious in some way. It obeys, it protects, and it observes. And now it observes you." Luke felt a shiver. To be watched by a being that was part machine, part energy, and yet fully alive, was both intimidating and fascinating. He straightened his armor, which gleamed faintly under the light. The scratches and dents on it told stories of human perseverance, of battles fought and survived. Viola's eyes kept returning to it, as if she could see not just the metal but the spirit inside. The queen led them to a large chamber that resembled a library. Shelves stretched into the ceiling, filled with crystal-like tablets that glowed softly. Hovering platforms moved gently between the rows, carrying more tablets and artifacts. Luke stepped carefully, conscious of every sound he made. "These are the records of the Viorlian Empire," Viola explained. "History, knowledge, and lessons learned over millennia. Few outsiders have ever been allowed here. Humans, for example, are rarely studied directly. You are an exception." Clara stepped forward, her eyes wide. "It's amazing. So much knowledge. How do you even read all of this?" Viola smiled faintly. "We do not read as you do. We connect. We touch the energy of these objects and their knowledge flows into our minds. It is like seeing, feeling, and understanding at the same time." Luke nodded thoughtfully. "Then you've seen humans before in your records, our battles, our technology." The queen's expression darkened slightly. "I have seen fragments. Humans are unusual. You fight with determination and unpredictability. You survive when others would fall. Your armor, the one you wear, is noted in our records as a prototype that could have changed battles long ago, but it was never completed until now." Luke looked down at his armor. "We built it for survival, but it's more than that. It's a symbol of what humans can do when we refuse to give up." Viola's gaze softened. "A symbol, yes, and it has caught my attention. There is something about humans, something that cannot be measured by strength or technology alone." She guided them deeper into the library. They passed rows of tablets that seemed to float in midair. On one, an image of a human city under siege flickered. The humans on it fought with simple tools, yet they adapted, setting traps and using their environment to survive. Luke recognized the ingenuity immediately. "They are resourceful," he said. "Even when outnumbered, humans find a way." Viola nodded. "Indeed, it is this quality that makes you different. Most species rely on power. Humans rely on thought and spirit. That is why I watch you with interest." Luke Hayes. Clara whispered to Luke, "Do you think she believes us? That we really are different?" Luke smiled faintly. "I think she sees something she hasn't seen before, something worth learning about." The queen paused at a large platform that seemed to rotate in the center of the chamber. On it lay a massive crystalline object that shimmered with shifting colors. Viola's golden eyes focused on it, and Luke felt a strange energy pull him closer. "This is the heart of our empire," she said softly. "It stores our collective consciousness, our history, and our plans. Few have ever touched it, and yet you may learn from it if you are willing." Luke stepped forward cautiously. The energy felt alive, flowing over him without touching, like a warm wind brushing his skin. He felt memories, visions, and ideas passing through him. Scenes of alien worlds, wars, and alliances flooded his mind. But one vision stood out, a small human settlement under threat, struggling to survive. He saw himself in the armor, standing among the people, finding a way to turn the tide against impossible odds. Clara reached for his hand, feeling the energy too. Her thoughts were filled with strategies, survival tactics, and the will to protect her people. She looked at Luke, and they both understood without speaking. Humans had something that no empire, no matter how advanced, could teach or take away: their spirit. Viola observed silently. "You understand, even without instruction. This is rare. Most beings are limited by what they know. Humans, you see beyond limitations. You create possibilities where others see only walls." Luke stepped back, breathing heavily. The energy was intense but exhilarating. "We fight because we have to, and we survive because we refuse to fail. That's how humans are." The Queen nodded. "And it is why your armor belongs to a legend. Not because it is strong, but because it represents a species that cannot be ignored, a species that shapes its destiny rather than waiting for it." Suddenly, alarms rang throughout the chamber. Red lights flashed, and the hum of the station intensified. Viola turned sharply, her expression serious. "We are not alone. A fleet approaches. They do not come to greet us, they come to attack." Luke instinctively stepped forward, checking his armor and weapons. Clara moved beside him, ready for anything. "How many?" Luke asked. "Many," Viola said. "Too many to fight directly. They are from the Raksari Confederation, a rival empire. They see humans as weak and the Violians as a prize. They do not know what they are about to face." Luke's eyes narrowed. "Then we'll show them what humans can do. Even here, even against impossible odds." The Queen regarded him thoughtfully. "You are bold, human, perhaps too bold, but there is wisdom in courage when paired with action. I will allow you to fight alongside us, not as a subject, but as an equal." Clara's eyes widened. "We are going to fight with them, here, now." "Yes," Viola said. "And not just fight, you will lead, because humans do not fight like others. You improvise, adapt, and overcome. That is why your armor matters. That is why you matter." Luke took a deep breath. He felt the weight of responsibility, but also the surge of determination. "Then let's get ready. The Raksari won't expect humans to lead the defense, and that is exactly what we will do." Viola guided them to a control room filled with consoles, glowing displays, and holographic maps of the approaching fleet. Luke studied the data carefully. Hundreds of enemy ships moved with precision and coordination. They were powerful, and their weapons could destroy entire stations in moments. Clara pointed to a cluster of smaller ships. "These are fast and agile. If they reach the station, they could breach the defenses quickly." Luke nodded. "We'll need to create traps, distractions, and defensive formations. Humans always find a way to use the environment to their advantage." Viola watched silently, her expression unreadable. "Your strategy will be unusual. Most beings would rely on sheer firepower, but humans, you rely on cunning. That is why I allow it. Lead, human. Show me what you are capable of." Luke turned to Clara. "We do this together. Humans survive because we trust each other. Let's show them why." They began issuing orders, coordinating the defense of the station. Violian operators moved with precision, following Luke's instructions even when they seemed unconventional. Mines were placed in unexpected locations. Energy shields shifted to create false openings. And small human-crafted drones moved among the enemy ships, confusing and delaying their attacks. As the first wave of the Raksari fleet arrived, Luke felt his armor resonate with the energy of the station. Every scratch, every dent, every mark seemed to connect him to the larger force around him. This was more than survival. It was a chance to prove that humans were not just strong, but clever, resourceful, and unyielding. The battle began, and the humans fought with skill and daring. Ships that should have overwhelmed them found themselves outmaneuvered by tactics that were unpredictable, yet simple in execution. Luke's commands were precise, clear, and effective. Clara managed the drone strikes, guiding them into positions that maximized impact while minimizing risk. Viola observed from her throne, her golden eyes narrowing with interest and respect. "Humans," she whispered, "you are truly remarkable. Not because you are the strongest, but because you refuse to accept limits. You are the definition of legend." Luke smiled beneath his helmet, feeling the weight of responsibility and the thrill of battle. The Raksari were powerful, but they were not prepared for humans, creatures who could think, adapt, and survive against impossible odds. And in that moment, Luke knew one thing clearly: the legend of the armor was only beginning. The galaxy was about to see what humans were truly capable of, and no one, no matter how advanced, would underestimate them again. The battle outside the Virelian Imperial Station had begun in full force. Hundreds of Raksari ships moved like a deadly swarm, their weapons glowing ominously against the dark expanse of space. Luke Hayes stood at the command console, his armor reflecting the shifting lights of the displays. He could feel the vibrations of the station through the floor, as if it were alive and aware of every movement of the fleet outside. "Luke, they're splitting into two groups," Clara Miles said, her voice calm but urgent. She pointed at the holographic map. "One is heading straight for the station, the other is trying to flank from the side." Luke nodded. "We'll have to divide our focus. Keep the flankers busy with the drones. Use the energy mines to slow them down. I'll handle the main assault." He tapped commands into the console, sending drones and automated turrets into precise positions. The Raksari fleet moved fast, but the humans were faster in thought. Every maneuver was calculated, exploiting weaknesses the enemy didn't expect. Clara guided the drones with skill. They zipped between the Raksari ships, dropping small explosive charges that disabled engines or weapons. Every strike was precise, and every move forced the enemy to adapt. They had numbers, yes, but humans had ingenuity. "Luke," Clara said, "they're regrouping. They're trying to focus fire on the drones." "Good," Luke replied. "That means they're predictable. Let's use it." He quickly altered the drone patterns, creating fake targets and drawing the Raksari fire away from the station itself. The enemy ships followed, unaware they were being guided into traps. Viola observed from the throne room, her golden eyes sharp. "The humans are not only surviving but controlling the battle. Incredible," she whispered to an aide. "Watch closely. This is how legends are made." The station itself seemed to respond to Luke's commands. Shields shifted automatically, energy fields strengthened in critical areas, and sections of the station rotated to provide strategic advantages. Luke's armor hummed faintly, resonating with the station's energy. It was as if the suit and the station recognized each other, amplifying the human's abilities. One of the Raksari commanders, a tall alien with silver skin and piercing blue eyes, realized the humans' tactics. "They are clever, too clever. Focus all fire on the humans," he shouted into his communicator. Luke and Clara braced themselves. The enemy fleet began concentrating on them, ignoring the station itself. But Luke had anticipated this. "Clara, now. Lead the drones to the left flank, pull them into the energy net. I'll draw their attention." The plan worked perfectly. The Raksari ships chased the drones into a hidden energy trap Luke had activated moments before. Fields of concentrated energy slammed into their hulls, disabling several of their ships in seconds. The enemy faltered, confusion spreading through their formation. Clara grinned. They didn't see that coming. Luke smiled under his helmet. That's the point. Humans survive because we think when others panic. The battle intensified. Raksari fighters tried kamikaze attacks, charging directly at the station, but Luke and Clara coordinated rapid defenses. The human-built drones zipped in and out, creating distractions, disabling weapons, and even ramming smaller ships with explosive precision. Each human move seemed simple, but was devastatingly effective. Viola stepped closer to the observation window, her expression one of amazement. They are not only defending, they are teaching the Violians to fight differently. Unpredictable, clever, adaptable. This is rare. Luke glanced at her. We are not here to teach, Your Majesty. We are here to survive, and to show that humans cannot be counted out. The Queen's eyes glimmered. And yet you do more than survive, you lead, you inspire. Suddenly, a large Raksari warship moved into range, its weapons charging to unleash a devastating strike on the station. The humans had seconds to react. Luke analyzed the trajectory quickly. Clara, deploy the energy mines now. Aim for the forward vector and pull them in with the drones. Clara executed the command flawlessly. Drones lured the Raksari ship into the minefield, and explosions rocked the void of space. The massive enemy ship shuddered, caught in multiple energy bursts, and then exploded in a blinding flash. The crew of the station cheered quietly, careful not to disturb the Queen's presence. Luke wiped sweat from his brow. One down, many more to go. Viola's gaze remained fixed on him. Your armor does not merely protect your body. It amplifies your mind, your instincts, your choices. Few beings can lead like this without fear. Luke shook his head. We have fear. We just choose to act anyway. More enemy ships approached, faster and more coordinated this time. Luke quickly altered tactics. Split into small groups. Use the corridors of asteroids as cover. Pick them off one by one. Don't let them overwhelm the station. Clara nodded. I'll manage the drones and energy shields. You focus on their formations. As Luke issued commands, he noticed something strange. One group of enemy ships was moving erratically, almost as if avoiding certain areas. He realized the station itself was subtly influencing the battle, guiding the humans to the most advantageous positions. His armor vibrated in response, connecting him more closely to the station's energy. This is incredible, Clara said. The station, it's working with us. Luke nodded. It trusts us, or it recognizes our ability to survive. Either way, we use it. Hours passed, and the Raksari fleet began to falter. Every attack they launched was countered with precision. Humans used simple tools, clever tricks, and unpredictable movements to turn the tide. The Violians, trained in advanced warfare, followed Luke's guidance, adapting to his unconventional strategies. Finally, only a few enemy ships remained. They were damaged, low on energy, and unable to coordinate effectively. Luke gave the final command. All drones converge. Concentrate fire on the remaining ships. We finish this now. Explosions lit the space around the station as the last Raksari ships were destroyed or forced to retreat. Silence followed, broken only by the soft hum of the station and the humans' own breathing. Viola approached them slowly. Her expression was unreadable at first, then softened into a rare smile. Humans, you have done what few could even attempt. Not only have you survived, but you have triumphed against overwhelming odds. Your armor is a symbol, yes, but it is the human mind and spirit that make legends. You have proven yourselves. Luke lowered his helmet, revealing a tired but determined face. We only did what humans do best. We survive, we fight, and we refuse to give up. Clara stood beside him, her brown eyes shining with pride. We also fought together. That's how we do it. The Queen's golden eyes glimmered with something new, respect. You have changed how I see humans. You are not merely a species. You are a force, unpredictable and unstoppable when united. This battle is only the beginning. I can see that your legend will grow, Luke Hayes, and not just yours but that of all humans, Luke nodded. Then we'll make sure it grows. For our people, for our world, and for every human who refuses to back down. Viola led them back to the throne room. The battle outside was over, but the humans had earned more than victory. They had earned recognition. Other Violian officers approached, bowing in respect. The humans had not only survived the impossible but had inspired awe. Your actions today, Viola said, will be remembered for centuries. The Raxari underestimated you, and now the galaxy will see that humans are not to be ignored. Luke looked around at Clara, the Violians, and the station itself. This is just the start. Humans are capable of more than even we realize. The galaxy hasn't seen anything yet. Viola placed a hand on the console, and the energy of the station pulsed warmly. Perhaps it is time humans have a place among the great powers, but you must continue to prove yourselves. Courage and intelligence are not enough. You must show wisdom, adaptability, and unity. Luke clenched his fists, feeling determination surge through him. We will. Humans always find a way. As the humans moved through the station, preparing to leave the throne room, a new feeling settled in Luke's chest, a mixture of pride, anticipation, and responsibility. The battle had been won, but the war for recognition, respect, and survival in the galaxy was only beginning. And now, humans had shown that they could not only survive the impossible, they could thrive in it. In the quiet that followed, the Queen's voice echoed softly. Legends are born not of strength alone, but of spirit, determination, and courage. You, Luke Hayes, wear the armor of a legend, but it is your mind and heart that make it true. Luke looked down at the scratched, dented armor and felt a deep sense of purpose. This was not just protection. It was proof. Proof that humans, no matter the odds, could endure, adapt, and rise. And somewhere in the vast reaches of space, other civilizations would soon learn the same lesson. Humans were not just another species. They were a force that could shape history, defy expectations, and leave legends in their wake. The aftermath of the battle was quiet, but the tension remained. The Raxari fleet had retreated, broken and confused. Outside the windows of the Violian Imperial Station, debris drifted silently, glowing faintly as it reflected the light of nearby stars. Luke Hayes stood at the observation deck, his armor still faintly humming from the connection to the station's energy. Clara Miles joined him, her expression a mix of relief and determination. "We did it," Clara said softly. "The station is safe, and the Raxari won't return for a long time." Luke nodded. "Yes, but this was just the first test. The galaxy has more challenges waiting for us." "And now the Violians will expect humans to play a role among the great powers." Clara glanced at him. "Do you think we're ready for that? Humans are strong and clever, but the galaxy is vast. There are forces we haven't seen yet." Luke smiled faintly. "We don't have to be ready for everything. We just have to be ready for the next step. And humans, we always find a way." Queen Viola appeared beside them, her presence calm but commanding. Her golden eyes seemed to pierce through the observation window and into their minds. "You have proven yourselves, Luke Hayes and Clara Miles, not through brute force but through strategy, courage, and adaptability. Few beings in the galaxy could have accomplished what you did today." Luke bowed slightly. "We only did what humans do best. We survive, we fight. And we refuse to give up." Viola's gaze shifted to the station's systems. "The heart of the station is attuned to your actions. It recognized your instincts, your ingenuity, and your ability to lead. Humans have a unique quality, resilience coupled with innovation. That is why your armor is not merely protective. It is a symbol of human potential." Clara stepped forward. "Your Majesty, the armor is designed to help us survive, but it's nothing without our minds and teamwork." The Queen's expression softened. "Precisely. The galaxy often measures strength by numbers or firepower. Humans measure strength differently, by persistence, adaptability, and unity. You exemplify these qualities. Luke turned back to the observation window. The Raksari were strong, but they underestimated humans. That's always been our advantage. They plan for patterns and predictability. We create opportunities from the unexpected. Viola nodded. And it is that unpredictability that makes humans dangerous and fascinating. Many civilizations fear what they cannot control. You are beyond control, Luke Hayes, and that is why you are legendary. The Queen led them through the station to a chamber that overlooked the city-like structures below. Violian engineers and scholars moved through corridors filled with energy flows, floating platforms, and crystalline machines. The humans observed everything with awe. Even after surviving the battle, the scale of the Empire was overwhelming. "Look at this," Clara whispered. "Everything is connected, every system integrated. It's more than architecture, it's alive." Luke nodded. "And humans will understand it one day. We learn quickly when we need to. That's why we survive today." Viola led them to a large platform in the center of the chamber. A holographic map of the surrounding space appeared, showing nearby planets, colonies, and fleets. "This is the current state of the galaxy," she said. "The Raksari are only one of many forces. Others watch, waiting for weakness. And humans, you have made them take notice." Luke studied the map. "We've shown what humans can do in battle, but influence comes from more than fighting. Knowledge, strategy, alliances, we need all of it." Viola's golden eyes gleamed. "Exactly. That is why you will not leave this station empty-handed. Humans will receive guidance, access to knowledge, and opportunities to demonstrate further abilities. You have earned a place among those who shape galactic events." Clara tilted her head. "A place, but humans are new to all of this. We are not experienced like the Violians or the Raksari." Luke smiled. "Experience comes from action. We may be new, but we learn fast and we adapt. That's what makes humans strong. We don't rely on what has been done before. We create solutions in the moment." The Queen led them deeper into the chamber, toward a cluster of glowing consoles. "Here, you will learn from the records of past conflicts, strategies, and technologies. But your greatest strength will not come from knowledge alone. It will come from how you use it. Humans must combine intellect, courage, and instinct. That is the hallmark of your species." Luke activated one of the consoles. Data flowed in streams of light, images of star systems, ships, and battles passing by rapidly. He felt a surge of understanding, recognizing tactics, formations, and strategies. Even without prior training in Violian methods, he saw patterns humans could exploit. Clara followed, her eyes scanning the information. "It's like seeing the whole galaxy at once. So much knowledge, but it also shows weaknesses. We can use them," Viola observed quietly. "Exactly. Humans do not fear knowledge or responsibility. You apply it immediately in ways others cannot predict. That is why humans thrive where others fail." Luke nodded. "Then we will prepare, not just for defense but for opportunities. Humans do not wait for others to act. We take action and we shape outcomes." The Queen paused, placing a hand on the console. "You will have allies among the Violians, resources, and guidance. But remember this, true power comes not from tools or numbers alone. It comes from spirit, intelligence, and unity. If humans can master these qualities, the galaxy will see you as legends in your own right." Luke glanced at Clara. "We already have the spirit. We survive, fight, and adapt. Intelligence comes next, and unity, we are already learning that here." Clara smiled. "Then let's continue. There's so much to do, so much to prove." Viola nodded. "Good, the next steps are crucial. The Raksari will recover and other forces will take notice of humans. You must demonstrate that your species is more than strength alone, that it is clever, resourceful, and unyielding." Luke took a deep breath. "We will. Humans always find a way. And this station, this empire, it has shown us what's possible. We will build on it." The Queen led them to a large viewing platform overlooking a massive energy field surrounding the station. Ships moved within it, conducting drills and simulations under Luke's guidance. He realized that this was more than training. It was an opportunity to integrate humans into galactic operations, to show that they could lead and innovate. Clara studied the energy field, analyzing the patterns. Luke, if we adjust the energy flow, we could create openings for human tactics. Small, unpredictable moves could neutralize larger forces. Luke smiled. Exactly. Humans excel where patterns fail. We use unpredictability to our advantage. Let's begin. They spent hours coordinating exercises with the Virelian forces, testing strategies, and exploring new methods of defense and attack. Every move Luke suggested, every tactic Clara implemented, highlighted human ingenuity. The Virelians watched in amazement, learning from the humans even as they provided guidance. Virela approached, observing quietly. "You are changing the way my people think. Humans do not merely follow orders. You interpret, improvise, and adapt. That is rare." "That is extraordinary," Luke nodded. "It's what humans do. We don't wait for others to tell us what to do. We find solutions, create opportunities, and take action." Clara added, "And we survive. That's what matters most. We prove ourselves in action, not words." The Queen's eyes glimmered. "Then your legend grows. The armor you wear is only a symbol. It is your mind, spirit, and determination that define you. The galaxy will take notice, and your people will rise in ways few could imagine." Luke glanced at the observation window, seeing the stars and distant planets. "This is just the beginning. Humans will prove themselves, not by fear or force, but by cleverness, courage, and perseverance. The galaxy has underestimated us for too long." Virela placed a hand on his shoulder. "Do not underestimate what you have already achieved. Today, you have shown that humans are not merely survivors. You are leaders, innovators, and legends in the making. Remember this." Luke clenched his fists, feeling the weight of responsibility and pride. "We will remember, and we will continue to grow, adapt, and rise. Humanity has only begun its journey." The chamber fell silent for a moment, filled with the quiet hum of the station and the distant glow of stars. Luke and Clara stood together, realizing that their journey was far from over. The battle had been won, but the challenge of proving humanity's place among the stars had only begun. Virela finally spoke, her voice calm but filled with authority. "Prepare yourselves. The galaxy watches, and humans are no longer unknown. You have made your mark. Now show them what it truly means to survive, adapt, and rise above the impossible." Luke looked at Clara. "Then we continue. We survive, we lead, and we show the galaxy that humans cannot be ignored." Clara nodded. "Together always, that's how humans succeed." As they moved toward the central command, the station seemed to pulse with energy, as if acknowledging the humans' presence and potential. Luke realized something profound. This was not just a victory of skill or strategy. It was a recognition of human spirit, intelligence, and courage. The galaxy had witnessed the impossible, and humans had proven themselves worthy. But Luke knew one thing clearly: the true test was yet to come. And when it did, humans would be ready.